hope everyone had a wonderful new year. I've been gone for the last 2 weeks, or at least not making videos for the last 2 weeks. I took last week off. I needed a break, and you know, it was a long year. I had a lot of stress in my life last year, and that stress is actually continuing. So I needed to take a breather in between. So as I think I've mentioned, I ran for Vermont State House of Representatives last summer, and I didn't win, but I am going to continue with a run for the school board here in my town. So that is my plan. So that's why I kind of needed to take a little bit of a break. So I didn't make videos for the last 2 weeks. I didn't do anything last week. I just relaxed. I kind of needed that reset in between Christmas and New Year's. And so I'm headed into 2023 with, you know, positive outlook. I feel rested. I feel ready to go. And I just wanted to kind of, you know, I have done resolutions in the past. They never tend to work out, and I'm certainly not the only one. Most people's New Year's resolutions don't work out the way they want them to. So that's something that, you know, I just kind of realized that, not that they're a waste of time, because they do start you thinking about being a better person, but I didn't want to go that route this time. So what I am going to pick, I've decided every month or two I'm going to pick like one thing that I'm really going to concentrate on, that I'm going to make a habit around, and really try to, you know, focus on. So kind of this first month or so of January, and this is to say, like, it's not going to happen necessarily every month I'm going to pick something new, but at least right now I really need to get a handle on my sleep. I've always been a terrible sleeper, like since I was a kid, and sleep is so important. And I've always been a very light sleeper. I sleep terribly if anything is sort of out of whack, if like my brain doesn't want to shut off, if something stressful happens right before I go to bed, if I'm sleeping somewhere other than my house, if I've got something big coming up, like all these things. Like I was always like, I remember going to, you know, sleepovers in middle school, and I was always the last one to fall asleep and the first one to wake up. I have always had this problem my whole life. And I think some people, that's just the way it is. So that's what I'm going to focus on for a little while, is just trying to get my sleep in order, trying to make things as, you know, make myself a sleep routine, try to stick to it as good as possible, as well as I can. And then that way I also have something that I can fall back on, like when I do travel and I'm sleeping somewhere else, and that first night is always a pain in the butt. And so I'm going to, you know, a lot of people have a routine when they wake up. I kind of don't. I kind of just get up and go. I don't really have a routine when I get up, but a lot of people do. I mean, I guess I sort of do in a sense, but, you know, but we often kind of, you know, when we go to bed, we just expect ourselves to fall asleep when we don't have a routine to get ourselves into that mode of going to sleep. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start making myself a sleep routine. First and foremost, I'm going to go to bed and get up at the same time every day, as you know, as much as possible. Obviously, there's going to be those times that are kind of out of left field that you'll stay up or whatever. That's totally different. But you know, I kind of have gotten into this habit of like, oh, on the weekends I'm going to sleep in, and during the week, you know, I'm going to wake up early, and you know, and that basically gives you jet lag every week. So I'm going to get out of that habit. I'm I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and I'm going to, as my evenings kind of progress, my latest clients that I take are until 7:30 at night. That's also my son's bedtime. So, once I put my son to bed, and it takes me, I usually read to him, we talk for a little bit, and I'm gonna, and that takes till about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, I make myself a cup of soothing tea, whether, chamomile or something else, but just like a nice cup of hot tea. Drink that as I stretch, do static stretching, whole body, to kind of get into that, static stretching kind of helps the central nervous system wind down. It helps it to, to get into relaxation mode. It helps to relax the central nervous system. So I'm gonna stretch full body, no matter how tired I am. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this for at least a month. And if I can make it through a month, then I think I can go further. Because there are those times where I'm laying on the couch and I'm like, I don't feel like getting up and making myself a cup of tea. And I'm sure I can fall asleep. But I'm not gonna let myself do that. I'm going to make sure I do this sleep routine for myself. And then I'm gonna, once I stretch everything, drink my tea, hang out with my husband until about 9 o'clock, and then I'm gonna go upstairs, brush my teeth, do that stuff, get into bed, give myself a little shoulder massage, and maybe write in a journal. I do have a journal that I'm not as good about writing in, but start trying to make that a practice as well, writing in my journal. And hope, and then go to sleep. And I'm going to not look at my phone after 8 o'clock at night. Phone is essentially off at that point. I do use it as my alarm, so it's good. Technically has to stay on, but I'm not going to look at it past that point. And so that's one big thing. I am going to watch TV with my husband. I mean, that's what he does. That's how we spend time together a lot of the time. So that TV's not going to go away. But I have gotten into the habit in the past, and I'm sure this will happen again at some point. I have gotten into the habit of watching TV when I'm laying in bed. Like, I get into bed and I turn the TV on. And that's typical for a lot of people. And I'm going to try very hard not to let myself do that. And so that's going to be my sleep routine. I'm going to stick with it for at least through the month of January. And, and I think if I can make it through the month of January, I want it to be a habit. I'd like it to be a habit for the rest of my life. And, and in that way, I can continue with this routine as I, when things aren't ideal, it can help add some, comfort and calming in those times when, like, maybe things are a little bit more stressful than they should be right before bed, or maybe I'm traveling and I've got like a big event coming up the next day or something, that I can use this routine to help myself sleep better in those times as well. So that is my plan. Comment below, let me know what your resolutions are. If you have a plan for things that you want to do to make yourself, a better person in this new year, 2023. And I'm back with videos, and I'm going to be more consistent about them. I promise, even though I'm doing another campaign, I am going to be consistent about this. So, time management. I'm getting better at it. I've always been pretty good at it, but these campaigns have thrown it's a whole nother ball game when you've got that stuff going on. So anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, and you know, please let me know what your New Year's resolutions or what your, you know, your plans are for the new year in the comments, and I will see you probably tomorrow with another video. Have a great evening. Bye.